go! Today I wanted to talk about how to fix society. Like I said in my last video, I think we all know that something's wrong. We all know that there's corruption and that the world is being run by money and by material goods and by predominantly like white males, and there's not a lot of diversity in leadership and yada yada yada. We all know there's lots of problems. I think the best way to help fix the world, so to speak, is to escape it. What I mean by that is that I believe it's so corrupt fundamentally, like our society right now, that you can't really fix it from the inside out, but more like here's the bubble of society and here's like the few of us that like are kind of see it and are like, this is unacceptable, and so we need this few to grow so big that this whole of society kind of like shrinks down and loses its power, essentially. So I talked about this in my last video about consumption patterns and how big of an impact you can have with that. But another thing to note is self-sustainability and minimalism, because you can buy a ton of eco-friendly products. Everything recyclable, you can compost all your food. In the end, every single time you buy something, it is taking resources from the earth. So even if you're buying all eco-friendly products, which is absolutely great, you still want to minimize the amount of stuff that you're buying in general. The real thing that's like safe to buy in abundance is organic, sustainably grown fruits and vegetables and other plant foods. A second thing that's really, really beneficial is educating yourself. We all go through at least a high school education, or I'm assuming most of the people who have access to the internet have gotten their high school education. So we've spent the first, let's say, 18 years of our life being kind of told what we should learn. And it's time that we take responsibility for what knowledge and information we want to know and learn, because what we're taught mainstream isn't the whole truth. Things that you should know about are Monsanto. If you don't know who they are a biotech company who is originally a chemical company who created Agent Orange and DDT and Roundup, Roundup is used on basically like all of our food, and it's completely carcinogenic, and they basically own all of our food and our land, and they have monopolized agriculture and are causing many problems environmentally and socially and health-wise as well. And they created GMOs, and they're definitely a company that you need to know about because they have so much power in this world. Another thing you should know about is the Rothschild and Rockefeller families. They basically run our central banking systems and have been for a couple hundred years, and those are things that you should know about. Other things you should research are basically anything. Like, if you're told one thing in the media, like, it's cool if that's the truth, but you need to find out for yourself if that's the truth. Like for 9/11, for example, do your research on what really happened with 9/11. There's an amazing documentary. It's called Loose Change. Another thing that you really should know about is Nikola Tesla. He was a brilliant, brilliant man, from what I understand, who wanted to supply the world with free energy and electricity, and he was basically overrun by corruption, and they wanted to be able to charge people for electricity, so they turned to Thomas Edison. Just research it. It's really interesting stuff. I also suggest that you go on YouTube or Netflix or all these different resources that we have and just start watching documentaries about whatever you're interested in. Just teach yourself. Like, we have access nowadays to every single amount of knowledge that human beings have ever documented, and it's called the internet, and there's so much out there that you could learn, and it's pretty incredible. And so we all have the power now to teach ourselves and not just like accept what we're taught in our communities or in our school system. So from me doing all of this research, I come to the conclusion that our food system is the fundamental problem in society, and that by altering our diets and what we consume, we can really have the largest impact on society. Different documentaries and resources that helped me come to this conclusion was the movie Cowspiracy, the movie Forks Over Knives, the movie Earthling. Those first two are on Netflix, and the second one's on YouTube. The book The China Study is a great resource, the 80-10-10 diet book. And as a raw vegan, I have come to the conclusion that it is the biggest act of rebellion against society, in the most peaceful way. I don't just accept what I was told was food growing up, or what Monsanto decides to feed us or genetically modify and mass produce. I accept what my body is biologically designed to eat, which is fruits and vegetables and small amount of nuts and seeds. And I really, really believe that. If you don't believe that, that's totally okay. I'm just saying you should question it. If you believe really that we are carnivorous or omnivorous, I advise you to research it, research our most common ancestors, which, are monkeys, orangutans, gorillas. So look up what hunter-gatherers eat, what we have eaten through our history, just research. Veganism or raw veganism can seem hard for some people because it's different and it's not as maybe easily accessible as eating a SAD diet, a standard American diet is, but you're not going to grow as a person and you're not going to be better than the masses unless you change. Going with the flow of society is just contributing to all of these problems. Inaction is the greatest form of allowing evil to happen, basically. If you kind of just sit back and go along with what's going on, you are contributing to evil, and I know it's horrible. If you want things to be better, you have to be better and you have to change, because going with the flow of society is contributing as much to the evil as the evil people who are running this place. Evil can't run the world on evil. They need people to come along with them, and that's kind of what's happening right now. They kind of have the power to control human behavior right now, and they are doing so. But if we all change, the few selective evil that lives in this world can't do anything if people don't accept their evil. When I used to suffer from Crohn's disease, I would stay up late at night sad. This thought would literally go through my head of if I was on a deserted island, I would die, because I at the time thought I could only digest processed food, and that thought scared me more than anything. The thought of I couldn't live on an island without society. It just, I can't explain it, but it just made me so distraught. I feel so much better knowing now that not only can I survive without processed food and without drugs, I also am how humans kind of are biologically designed to live. That's what attracts me the most. We're all locked down by technology and by media and by processed junk that we keep putting in our body, and it really does, it weighs you down, and it takes your energy away to rebel and to fight. Gain your energy through eating real food that comes from the earth. You're not going to feel your most alive when you're eating dead animals. Eat life. Plants have so much pure life and nutrients and minerals and water in them that feeds us so much better than animals who were treated terribly and who never saw the sunshine and who were scared their whole lives and then were slaughtered and then processed and covered in crap and given drugs and antibiotics and then put in plastic wraps to sit in stores. And it's just such a messed up system, and you don't have to be a part of that, and that's so empowering. I wrote a song the other day that I think really kind of speaks to what I'm saying, and so I'm going to read just a short segment of it to you guys. I'm not here to impress or debate. I'm just here to follow my fate, which is to love so much it outshines the hate. I don't want to spend my whole life debating about whether we need animal protein or not. It doesn't feel right to me to put dead animals in my body, so I'm not going to. And I don't want to judge people, and I know we're all on our own special journeys. But for me, I just want to love. I just want to be kind and experience really high vibrational foods and people and things that just uplift me. Things to me are hiking and swimming and having amazing conversations and playing music and sharing my story and listening to other people's stories. Eating healthy food that makes me feel good. Eating this way to me is such a rebellion, because I'm saying I don't accept the evil that you want me to accept. I'm not going along with your evil scheme. I'm going to do what feels right to me. There's so much propaganda. If you start paying attention to TV commercials, it's insane. Pretty much every commercial is about food, and it's not about healthy food. It's about junk food. And these commercials objectify women. They objectify animals. They don't spread kindness. They don't spread compassion. They don't spread health. I want the best for everybody. Everybody. I don't just want to make money and to do and buy a big house and have my own helicopter. I want everyone to be happy and healthy and to have an abundance of food, healthy food, and to be happy and follow their dreams and listen to their intuition and spend time in nature and talk and enjoy their lives. So I guess my point is, like, vibrate higher than society. Be better. Be a better person and don't accept the bad stuff. And we can all rise so high in love that, like, all the evil corruption that's going on the ground right now, it doesn't even have to exist to us. I don't want to acknowledge all the bad stuff going on. And sometimes I do, and sometimes it weighs me down, but I want to focus on the good. I get weighed down by the sad stuff sometimes, the factory farming and the fact that people are so depressed that everything I knew to be true for the first 20 years of my life isn't. That's a really hard barrier to break through. There's a lot of hard stuff that comes along with a spiritual awakening, but like when you break through that, it's so worth it. And sometimes the negative stuff peeks through, but that can be justifiable through knowing that everyone's on their own journey and that we're all headed, I feel like, in the right direction. Like, I feel like people really want the best and really want to be better and good, and that there's a big health movement going on and an environmental movement going on. And while all this bad stuff is still happening, people are starting to not go along with it anymore, which is the best thing you can do. Rebel against the bad stuff peacefully. We don't have to fight anyone. Just stop accepting it. Stop buying it. Stop listening to it. Stop watching it. It doesn't have to exist. So don't let it exist in your world. For me, I know I always go back to food, but you can't really escape it and be completely all good if you're still contributing to pretty much the world's largest mass extinction almost in history and a huge animal holocaust. And also all of the health and environmental problems that come along with eating a poor diet. It's really hard to be better without changing what you're putting into your body. You cannot believe what goes into our food system. It's unfathomable what goes into our food. Unfathomable. Like, everything that you think is bad about our food system, multiply that by 100. So love yourself, educate yourself, nourish yourself, smile, feel good, enjoy your journey. It's all a journey, and we're all here to just experience and enjoy that experience. I hope you guys like these videos. I really enjoy making them and sharing my thoughts, and I've gotten positive feedback. So thank you for everyone who's watching, and I hope you guys all have an incredible day.